In the last episode, I talked about why I believe there is a hidden cellar under my house, the reasons to look for it, and show you mobile footage of what's under my floorboards. While reviewing the last episode after it went online, I noticed something I hadn't seen before in the pictures of my neighbor's basement. These two pictures are from the same basement, just slightly different angles. Looking at the second picture with more attention, I seem to have spotted a hatch. Our current point of view is standing at the back of the house looking towards the front. The hatch seems to be located very close to the lower front door. Just in front of that, you can see an arch. I also found some extra footage I shot a couple weeks before the original one that you saw in the first episode. And if you squint your eyes, you might just see what looks like the same arch. Unfortunately, the hole is full of cables, pipes, and dirt. I'm not sure how this looks in the footage, but in real life it is barely 2 feet or 50 centimeters deep. We can conclusively say that the entrance is not there. So this is where the story ends. Or is it? Even before I moved into this house, I did some research online and found several stories of people in a similar situation. The entrances were at different places, so I cannot stop now. In mybuilder.com, for example, I found a request for a quote to open a cellar found near the front door. A couple of replies suggest that the entrance is usually via the kitchen, under the stairs. I also found some bad news for amateur cellar explorers like me. One of the answers mentions the requirements I'll have to fulfill with the mortgage provider, building regulations and surveyors, and I quote, none of which are cheap.
I am never going to financially recover from this.
In a news article from 2018, Mrs. Taylor was tipped off by her neighbor of the existence of a cellar. She eventually found it in a cupboard under the stairs, the only place where the floorboards were intact. Her cellar had been filled with rubble, bricks and dirt, as once a common practice to avoid flooding. She left it alone and moved out. More recently, a man in Plymouth noticed a different texture in a wall in his new home. He drilled a hole big enough to poke his head through and found a 9 square meter cellar. A local historian revealed that his house was built on a hill. While all my findings were interesting and pointed at some new areas for exploration, I believed I needed some local expertise. I went on Facebook and posted on a group explaining my reasons to look for a cellar. The response was incredible, over 90 replies and lots of interesting suggestions. Mr. Purple said houses on hills usually have the entrance to the cellar under the back door. He also found a hidden cellar in his new property. Lady in Red says that she is no expert, but is keen to help demolish the place. Another member suggests I should look under or near the bay window. Then I found more people that suggest the entrance might be near the front door. Another lady in red mentioned under the stairs. So now I have a few more locations to investigate. To help us understand and plan the work needed, I mapped the downstairs. Please come in, no need to take your shoes off. This is the layout of my downstairs. A dining room and a kitchen. There's a front door leading to the stairs at the front and a back door leading to the garden at the back. I marked the place of interest in the map based on the research I did online. Location 0 under the stairs seems to be the most popular place for me to find an entrance. Location 1 is where I lifted the floorboards in the first episode of this saga. It's also where the hatch seems to be in my neighbor's house. Location 2, also mentioned by a few people, is solid concrete covered with vinyl flooring. If there was an entrance there, it will be hard work to find it. Number 3 is near the bay window. I'm not very keen to break the floor there unless I'm certain there are hidden treasures in the cellar. With so many places to search for an entrance, I was happy to see that more people on Facebook wanted to help. Lady in Pink offered to do admin. Hope she's good at dealing with the builders, suppliers, and keeping the stakeholders at bay. Lady in Blue said she's happy to come and make the tea for everyone. But perhaps one of the best offers came from Mr. Paul Walker. Self-entitled nosy corporate filmmaker, he offered to chuck an endoscope camera down a hole. As the professional that he is, payment would be made by the medium of tea and hobnobs. He did, however, say that I would have to deal with beasts and demons by myself in case we found any. In the next episode, I'll buy some hobnobs. I drill a hole in my floor.